Hello guys and welcome to Green Radar. Changes in the Sun, the Earth's orbit, ocean currents and volcanic eruptions are natural effects on the Earth's climate. Fossil records show that in the past 490 million years, dramatic changes in the climate have caused more than 5 huge extinctions. Some studies estimate that the current rate of extinction is 100 times faster than what would occur without human impact. Indicators that the climate is changing include rising global temperatures, rising ocean temperatures, increased ocean acidity, sea level rise and decrease of ice in the Arctic and Antarctic. The dominant cause of present-day climate change is the increase in carbon dioxide, methane and other greenhouse gases emitted into the atmosphere by human activities. Quick fact: 97% of active climate scientists agree that today's climate change is caused by human activities. A rise of 2 to 3 degrees Celsius in global temperatures will greatly increase the percentage of species at risk and amplify the dangerous impacts on biodiversity and ecosystems. Therefore, here's a list of 9 species that may go extinct due to climate change. Koala. Koalas live in the woodlands of Australia. Their thick fur and skin make it difficult for them to adapt to rising temperatures. Increased carbon dioxide in the air produces less protein in the eucalyptus leaves, forcing the koala to search for other sources of food. On the ground, the slow-moving koalas are prey to wild dingoes and domestic dogs, or are hit by cars as they cross roads. Their habitats are also being destroyed by drought, bushfires and development. Ringed seal. All populations of ringed seals are expected to be adversely affected by climate change because of their dependence on sea ice and snow dens for breeding, protecting pups, and resting. Early warming causes the pups to separate prematurely from their mothers, as sea ice declines. Other threats are fishermen, tourism and development. Seals are vulnerable to disease from heavy concentrations of pollutants that have accumulated in the Arctic food web. Whooping crane. Before 1800, there were an estimated 10 to 20,000 whooping cranes in North America. By 1941, because of hunting and habitat destruction, there were fewer than 20. Now there are approximately 350 to 380 in the wild. The wild whooping crane population has only one winter habitat, a wildlife refuge on the Gulf Coast in Texas, and one spring breeding habitat, a prairie wetland in Alberta. Severe storms, sea level rise, drought, industrial development and oil spills threaten these habitats. Black-footed albatross. Almost all black-footed albatrosses live in the Hawaiian Islands. Like all species of albatrosses that breed on low-lying beaches and slopes, they are highly susceptible to sudden flooding from sea level rise and storm surges. Thousands each year are caught by longline fishing, and they are also threatened by pollution and ingesting plastics that float in the ocean. Polar bear. Polar bears live only in the Arctic. Loss of sea ice has a critically adverse effect on polar bears. They build snow dens on the ice for resting and raising their cubs. Sea ice decline could open the Arctic to shipping and tourism, further disturbing Arctic habitats. Other threats are oil development and industrial pollution that reaches the Arctic through air and ocean currents. Beluga. Belugas live in Arctic and subarctic waters. Impacts from climate change include an increase in ship traffic as sea ice declines, oil exploration and extraction, fisheries bycatch, and disruption of the food web. Some beluga populations are also threatened by hunting, pollution and habitat loss. Emperor penguin. In 50 years, the mean temperature of western Antarctica has risen nearly 3 degrees Celsius, more than any other region, reducing the extent and thickness of winter ice. The emperor penguin is dependent on the ice for breeding, raising chicks and molting. Less sea ice decreases zooplankton, krill, which feed on algae that grow on the underside of the ice. Krill are an important part of the food web for the penguins and other Antarctic marine species. Leatherback sea turtle. Climate change impacts the leatherback in 2 main ways. An increase in the temperature of nesting sands causes a greater proportion of females to hatch, destabilizing future populations. and sea level rise and stronger storms erode nesting beaches and wash away eggs and hatchlings. The leatherback is also threatened from fisheries bycatch, egg collection, coastal development, pollution and ingestion of floating plastics. Monarch butterfly. The annual North American migration of the monarch is listed as a threatened phenomenon. Climate-related threats include drought, storms, changes in precipitation and dependence on temperature to trigger migration and reproduction. The monarch feeds and lays eggs exclusively on milkweed plants, so it is also highly vulnerable to herbicides and habitat destruction. Therefore, now you all have some more information on how serious climate change is. Many more species have possibilities of disappearing in the near future. Please help save the planet. Subscribe to Green Radar, and drop a like if you learned something from this video. Check us out on Instagram. Watch our other videos to expand your knowledge even more. Thank you for watching and have a good one.